I'm a mum of 3 and this is my weekly snack prep. I set aside a couple of hours every week just to cook and prepare a few snacks. I know exactly what's going into everything and it definitely does save me a lot of time and money throughout the week. Every Monday I share whole food, foolproof recipes for exhausted mums who don't want to spend hours in the kitchen. Starting off strong with these banana choc top ice creams. If I can tell you to make one thing from this week's snack prep, it would be these. Packed with calcium and healthy fats, naturally sweetened by those dates, and just a little bit cheeky with the chocolate topping. All you need to do is combine your banana, Greek yogurt, a little bit of honey, milk and dates in a blender, pop them into Icipol molds of your choice, and then pop them in the freezer for about 6 hours, or if you can, overnight. Once these are set, you want to grab some dark chocolate or some Panna organic chocolate. I've opted for the plain sea salted version. Pop it in the microwave with a little bit of coconut oil. Get your ice creams out of their molds and then dip away. You then want to pop them on a lined plate or baking tray and then pop them back in the freezer for at least an hour to set. I already know I'm going to have to make more of these because these are unreal. They're perfect after dinner treat that I do not feel bad about giving my boys. The second thing I got onto making were these salted caramel bliss balls. Bliss balls would have to be one of my favorite things to make and batch cook because not only are they super easy, you chuck everything in the blender, they store really well in the freezer, and when you pull them out they do not take long to defrost. Once all your ingredients are blended until smooth, you want to roll them into your desired shape balls before putting them in the fridge to set. If you have a sweet tooth like me, this is perfect for that 3 p.m. crash, or if you need something sweet after dinner. I then got onto making this blueberry, lemon and ricotta bake. This is a little bit of a spin off my pancake bake, but I've added a little bit more flour to give it that cakey consistency. This is a really good base for any kind of bake. So if you weren't a fan of blueberry or lemon, you could swap it out for raspberries, strawberries, apple, whatever you like. Combining everything together in a large bowl, you then want to pop it into a lined baking tin before you sprinkle on your beautiful blueberries. You can use fresh ones, but I've just opted for frozen ones today. Push them down gently and then pop them into a preheated oven until beautiful golden brown and cook through the center. I store these as an airtight container in the fridge, and I actually popped half in the freezer for those weeks where I just don't feel like cooking. The last thing I got into making were these margarita whole wheat pull-ups. Now my bread dough recipe is on my page. A couple of weeks ago I did make margarita scrolls, but we decided to make pull-aparts today. The bread base is very similar, but instead of rolling it out, I make them into small balls and pop them on a lined baking tray. Now I know these look ugly to start, but once you take them away and let them rise for 45 minutes, they come out beautifully. You then want to top it with some kind of pizza sauce. I've just used a passata today. I just find it's the cleanest and doesn't have any additives. Generously sprinkle over your cheese before topping it with some beautiful mixed herbs. Bake these in the oven on 180 degrees until bubbly and golden brown. And that is everything that I prepped this week. Stay tuned for this week's recipes over the next coming week. I have popped a couple in the caption for you. Make sure you're following along so you don't miss next week's snack prep.